Okay, welcome back. This is your Afghan variety show on 89.6 FM. بازم خوش آمدین به پروگرام افغانی خودتان.
Asya Majgan Amini is a school teacher, but on Wednesdays from West London, she hosts a radio show for Afghans in Britain and beyond.
It's called the Afghan variety show. It actually includes everything, anything, everything which has to do with Afghanistan, Afghan people, the Afghan community here in the UK or outside.
There might be a discussion about news from Afghanistan, music, films, or community events. People call in with comments or to ask questions.
Can I just take this call? Assalamu alaikum.
One issue that has sparked discussion even beyond the radio show is whether the limited rights of Afghan women could be eroded. It was a major topic at a one-day international conference on Afghanistan in London last month. Comments by Afghan President Hamid Karzai have some worried.
We must reach out to all of our countrymen, especially our disenchanted brothers.
Reaching out means talking to at least some members of the Taliban to entice them to lay down their arms and side with the government. It's increasingly seen as necessary for peace in Afghanistan. But the brutal repression under Taliban rule has not been forgotten, says Barbara Robertson, professor of Islamic history.
One can absolutely understand why women are worried about this dilution, in their terms, of bringing in some turned Taliban into the government.
Under Taliban rule from 1996 to 2001, women had to be covered in burqas. They had no access to schools or jobs and could not leave home without a male relative. The fall of the Taliban did bring change. Girls can now go to school, women have greater access to health care and to the courts. Their rights are enshrined in the Constitution. But that means little, says Sargona Rasa, head of the British Afghan Women's Association.
The problem is not the Constitution, it is the implementation. We need, again, proper governance systems in place and monitoring systems.
At the London conference, President Karzai reassured participants that human rights would not be bartered away.
We will pursue our peace and reconciliation goals as we remain committed to the principles of the rights of all Afghan men and women.
U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton was more direct.
Women have to be involved at every step of the way in this process.
Activist Sargona Rasa says it's about basic human rights.
To be able to walk outside their house without fear, to be able to go and study, to be able to go work and to be able to travel, even if they are wanted outside the country.
Women's rights have always been hard to come by in Afghanistan's tribal society, experts say. In the best of times, women have managed to get an education and jobs only in major cities. Professor Robertson says Mr. Karzai has not brought about enough change.
It's the fact that they still have to struggle for these rights, and in many ways they feel they're quite tenuous, what they have managed to achieve.
Back at her London studio, Asya Majgan Amini agrees, but holds out hope.
I think the society, even outside the country, among Afghans themselves, they have realized that without the women in the country operating in government posts and so on, Afghanistan would not succeed.
She hopes her show is a small step in that direction. Sonja Pace, VOA News, London.